All right. Flush that shit. It is Jordan Johnson Hines. This is Below the Rim Podcast, episode 7, I believe. How y'all doing, man? We got the Boston Green tonight. Let's going for
baby. It. Let's get started. Let's go.
There we go. Billy Paquin is on. He's one of the biggest Celtics fan in the world.
Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive.
Rhode Island's finest. Billy, what's your predictions tonight? What's the score? Can you give us a quick update real quick before, you know?
Listen, live as we film it, 73-68, third quarter. You want to hear my honest prediction?
Absolutely.
You see the sign behind me right here? I don't know if you can read it. I'll say it. Kevin Millar, 2004 Red Sox. Don't let us win tonight. Don't let us win tonight. Because
I remember.
They're going back to Boston. Then once we win Game 5, Game 6, and then Game 7. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I was at the 04 Game 7 in New York wearing a Red Sox hat. Every Yankee fan wanted to kill me. Listen, I'm just saying, don't let us win right now. We're winning right now, but we can't close. We haven't been closed, and we got to close the game.
We'll see. We're going to keep up to date minute to minute with this the Boston Celtics Miami Heat game. Lakers got swept by the that's live, right? Lakers got swept. Jazz Donda is in the car again. How you doing, Jazz Donda?
I have 10 minutes because I got onto the Yuck Yucks comedy show tonight, so I'm going to be performing.
Hey.
Great place.
So I got a spot, so it's cool.
It's tonight
that you show up in your own
It's
home.
happening like right now. I told them I just went to the car to check on my car.
Wonderful. Okay, so before we get into the MMA boxing update, we have a new guest host, co-host, Katie Ullman. So we just want to throw it to her real quick. A much-deserved round of applause. Katie, thank you for doing this. We are completely honored here at the Below the Rim podcast team.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah, my name is Katie Ullman. I'm so happy to be here on Below the Rim. Rim referring to the basketball rim.
And a toilet rim, because if you don't like the ideas, we flush them. That's why it's a double entendre.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it. I know a little bit about basketball, but a lot about toilets.
So, Katie, you also do comedy. You're a director. You are an actor. You have an amazing fan base. How do you wear so many hats? How do you do it?
That's a good question. I don't know. I'm trying to stay sane and I'm trying to stay sane and happy. And the only way is to keep busy.
Yeah.
It's more out of desperation.
Can we flush the desperation? So again, this is Below the Rim Podcast. Katie Ullman, we are introducing her today, and we'll just let her do her thing. Katie, take it away.
All right, everyone. So welcome to Below the Rim Podcast. I am so happy to be here. Yeah, I guess our first segment is the top 5 big tings of the week.
As you just heard, we're adding a new segment this week. It's called the Top 5 Big Tings for the Week. Let's throw it out there, man. We're going to just kind of, what are some of the random shit you heard this week that's like, whoa, hot damn, what's going on? What's some of the stuff you heard?
Can I just ask all of you guys a question before I got to run back into the comedy show? As men, when you're on a date with a female, or if you're all in relationships right now and you have a partner, when you first met them, did you or did you not expect her to know anything about sports? And if she didn't know anything about sports, did you teach her? Or him? It doesn't matter.
Or him. What's that?
So
Drew, you want to go first?
I'm married. Is anyone else married?
I'm engaged. I'm engaged.
All right. So I'll give it real quick. This ain't gonna make sense. I'm a diehard Miami Dolphins fan living in New England. I met my wife. She had Patriot jerseys. I said, no. This ain't gonna work out. I threw those away, and I bought 10 more Dolphin jerseys. So it was like, you better know sports. If you're gonna be married to me, you gotta know sports. That's just my quick take.
Wow. So as I was telling Jazz in the earlier segment, so Haley's grandfather is from Oklahoma. They're all from Oklahoma. So it's like the only thing that matters there is like God, family, and football.
Right.
And that like you get that tattooed on your arm at birth or something, you know. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. So like she knows it, you know what I mean? So she actually had to tell me like, you know, about football and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's
the problem I seem to be running into lately, Jazz and boys here, is when I meet a girl, within a day or two, they tend to start pretending to like sports because they realize how obsessed I am or something. And then I start
teach her, tell her not to.
Right. You know, I start hearing stuff like, when's DeMar DeRozan going to take another 3, not realizing how he's been gone for 5 years and things like that. But, you know, they play the role nicely sometimes, you know.
But I think you got to be honest with her. Be like, hey, look, you don't have to pretend with me. I'll teach you if you're willing to learn.
Right.
That's a fair point.
Now see, there's a problem. I knew one woman, and she actually knew more about basketball than me. After about a month,
that doesn't surprise me though.
But when I was actually into sports, I was like, me and my brother would go back and forth who can name the most NBA players.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I actually got to find out that she was,
were you still like Alvin Williams' top 5?
Oh no, absolutely didn't even make my top 5. But she ended up knowing more than me. But then I started looking at her like one of the dudes. So like it was like give her a chance. Do you want her to do sports or is it gonna be like one of those dynamics where like he's your best friend now?
I think
Jamal.
It's important for your significant other to at least accept basketball. That's my only.
Oh my God, you're so biased.
If they're cool with basketball, I'm okay. Other than that. Like if they were like you can't watch golf, and like okay.
I feel that way about football. You know, you have to have that. You have to at least like my football team. But I'm with you, Jamal. I don't want her to debate my sports take. I don't want to go back and forth about LeBron and MJ with her.
What if you learn something from her?
It's not
I
that.
want her to tell me about reality shows and her to get her takes off about these conspiracies and stuff. While I get my sports takes off. It's a good mutual relationship.
But who cares who knows more? If she's teaching you, or he, not here to judge, or Shim, like
okay. So what happens if you meet a guy who's funnier than you?
Ooh.
Great, that's awesome because I don't think I'm funny. People think I'm funny. That doesn't mean that I think I'm funny.
That's fair.
I can be humble about that.
I love the basketball.
At least you're honest, Jess.
Huh?
At least you're honest.
Yeah, I don't think I'm funny, but people think I'm funny.
Yeah.
I just go up there and I talk about everything that annoys me, like every other comic.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so there you go. That's number 1. Number 2, what's the next thing that you know kind of you've learned this week or
Melo's retirement.
Melo's retirement. That's a big one, man.
I think the video that he sent out kind of made LeBron think about it in the sense of all right, Jazz.
Guys, I got a good show.
Good luck. Break legs.
Good luck, homie.
Thank you.
Break legs. Okay.
And my Neil Nanda show was a hit. We sold out both days. Shout out to Neil Nanda. I'll give you guys a shout out. He's a big sports fan from Los Angeles. Great show. Huge success. So yeah. All right.
Oh, thank you, Jazz. Down the ladies and gentlemen.
Peace out. Have a good night. Bye.
Night.
Oh, before I go, knock.
Who's there?
Off the Rim podcast. Make sure you check it out.
Hey.
Oh, no, wait. Below the Rim.
I was just going to say, who's Off the Rim?
no, she pulled it back.
Listen, Below the Rim podcast is Off the Rim.
It was still good.
It was good.
Love that.
It was good.
Bye.
Thank you, Jess. I think the other thing we wanted to talk about was LeBron retiring. So that was another thing you said, Avery?
Yeah, what do you think about Melo's retirement, though, peoples?
I felt like Melo's been retired for a couple of years, to be honest. I didn't really notice him knocking down many shots this season. But
oh, my brother's gonna be so upset.
I feel the same way.
I thought he was on the league too.
Melo in a minute, kind of like thought he faded out. You know what? It's been a great career. Like it's kind of sad that he's gone because it's making me feel like I'm getting old now. Like Melo's retired, LeBron. Like I'm the same age as those guys, and their careers are coming to an end, basically. Yeah. So I'm like, what's my life gonna be? I'm just kidding.
Right.
But It's sad. Melo, I mean, I remember watching him in Syracuse. Like, I had his jersey in Syracuse. My uncle lived in Syracuse. Like, I always loved Melo back in the day. And now he's never, he's retired. It's crazy.
Yeah. I hate to piss on this parade or anything, but actually I don't really hate to do it. But I just kind of feel like Melo is always going to be in my top 5 guys that underachieved. You know what I mean? I look at his body and I can kind of see where if he had worked a little harder, maybe made a few more trips to the gym instead of following around Lala, he might have had a little more success.
What more do you want to do?
Okay,
true, good point.
I heard
it tastes like Honey Nut Cheerios, so I can't really blame him.
The Kevin Garnett statement. Okay, my entire basketball life, I have given Melo quite a bit of shit. So basically since 03, 04, when he came in the league, he's been my brother's favorite player. And since then, I've always kind of chirped Melo, basically just because he's my brother's favorite player. But like realistically, Melo kind of during his Denver days, where for them to win, they would have had to beat LA or San Antonio. Or are they beating those guys? Maybe not. Like with his help, other than when he had Iverson, it's not like he had a lot of pieces around him. They had a pretty good team. They had like the Denver Thuggets. Like they had Kenyon Martin, J.R. Smith. Fucking, they had a fun team. Camby, their team was good, man. And then when he goes to New York, he gets Amari. Amari gets injured. He gets Jeremy Lin, turns into Linsanity. But like, they never really had enough pieces around them, and either way, they would have had to beat the Heatles during that time. It's not like Melo didn't do a lot during his time. It's just that like if Melo got the Chris Bosh spot on the Heatles, people would talk about Melo completely differently. Like people talk about Chris Bosh like he's an all-time great. Melo's clearly a better player than Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
Like, that's not even up for debate.
One thing in his career that always stood out to me, guys, is when he went to the dream teams surrounded by good players, he seemed to be the leading scorer more times in that environment. So we do have proof that when he's surrounded by other people that are very high level, you can count on him to at least get a lot of the points, right?
Yeah, he led Team USA.
He's never been a top defender. What do you think about his defense?
Okay, his defense is pretty suspect. That's one thing I'll say, that he definitely. LeBron, his entire career, you could say at least that he's a capable defender, but he picks and chooses his moments. Like, there's times you could watch LeBron plays and be like, what the fuck is LeBron doing? He's literally letting people walk by him. But when LeBron wants to defend, he can't. Melo is kind of the same way, but he does it way less. That he picks and chooses his moments because he cares more about the offense. But it's not like he can't defend. He's fucking probably 6'9", 250. Like, he's not a small guy. He can defend.
You know what's crazy? I was just thinking, right? LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and Melo, they were all the same class, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, and Bosh. Yeah, all the 04 class.
Like, it's I feel like Dwayne Wade's been out of the league for like 10 years. And
funny, right?
It's wild to think that LeBron's not retiring. I know, Jordan, you were getting into that with his kid. Let's just face it. It's going to be Bron and Bronny. They're going to have
a soft retirement. A soft retirement.
That's exactly it.
Hey, I thought about it too. It's possible, because I don't know if somebody said this or if I just thought about it myself, that I could see the whole taking a year off thing. Like, what does it change for you to play this year?
What's
take
his
a year off.
Situation? Is he like free?
He's on contract this year, so why not come back? The only people that are on contract, by the way, is Anthony Davis and LeBron. So he could come back, wait this year out. Bronny can't play this year anyways. The next year he'll be eligible. They'll have a shitty year so they can have a higher pick to. If Bronny's actually high in the draft, they could get him.
Lakers will trade the farm to make it happen, just to make it happen for LeBron.
Well, like, realistically, if you just run it back with just AD next year, are they above 50 team?
No,
probably not.
Not even close, in my opinion.
Like,
they got 30 wins max.
That's what I mean. And AD plays fucking only 30 games a season anyways. So you're only getting him a quarter of the year. Like, I could actually see him doing the sit out a year thing. Like, announce a big ass retirement like it's the end of the world. People go nuts. And then wait till the off season. You'll hear about, like, oh, LeBron's playing right now. He's been playing in pickup and shit. And people will be talking about it. And then LA will bring him back.
I can see that.
That's my prediction.
My God, I hope that doesn't happen. I can't believe we're talking about all this for Bronny James. The guy, when I look at Bronny James,
Well, we're supposed to be talking about Carmelo, but it's
I know. He morphed into Bronny, a guy who's like not even going to be that great in my opinion. But I did hear that he's going to USC, right? He's signed to go to USC.
Yeah.
What's everyone's predictions on Bronny in college, and what's your predictions on him in the NBA? Is he going to be a pump or a dump?
I said this.
I think he's gonna be a great. I think he's gonna be a great player. Yeah, 100%.
Do you remember when
I see LaMelo ball in him? Like I feel like I wasn't big on LaMelo coming out.
You
like,
think he has that much creativity?
I can see that.
That's a bold statement.
LaMelo's
creative as fuck. I actually like LaMelo's game a lot.
He's very poised.
He grew up. He grew up.
He does some street ball shit all the time that like blows my mind actually.
Yeah.
I like LaMelo more than I like Lonzo. I think Lonzo's game is probably a better all-around game, but LaMelo, I think give him a couple years, LaMelo could be super good. Like he's got more talent already than Lonzo does.
Yeah,
but Lonzo could
too, right?
Yeah, Lonzo could defend better. Lonzo's probably a smarter player. But on the Bronny thing, I think that I don't know if you guys remember when LeBron was in post-game interview the one time and said that he thought or said that he'll literally play for free to whatever team.
Yeah, that Bronny's playing on. Yeah.
That's why I'm saying that if it doesn't even matter if Bronny's good, he's going to the NBA anyways.
Yeah,
like,
it'll be worth a few ticket sales.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Any team will get him because they assume that LeBron will jump on.
Yeah. Just the merchandise sales alone.
Exactly.
But look, isn't it crazy how we're predicting all of this and he hasn't even played in the NBA yet?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's that LeBron did that though. LeBron literally said he'll play for free to play with his son. So like,
it reminds
star power.
This reminds me of Ken Griffey Jr. playing with his dad a little bit. Because Eric Griffey was the man, right? And you saw him play with his father, which was wild.
Just one of the coolest things in sports, playing with your dad.
Right, yeah.
Going back to the top 5, so I just found out Ken Griffey's contract, he had some of his money reserved for after retirement. So in case he were to spend all of his money, he still has money coming in from some of his contract. Does anyone else hear about that deal?
I did hear a little bit, and I didn't read much into it, but I did hear a little thing about that.
Allen Iverson's manager actually apparently did the same thing, that when he got, I think it was like the Reebok deal. They froze
a lifetime, right?
Yeah, they froze like $200 million basically until
I think it was 25 million.
I'm pretty sure it's a bigger number, man. Honestly, look it up. Because I remember when they were talking about Iverson going broke, and me and my brother were like, there's no way AI's broke. The amount of merchandise this guy sold, there's no way. And then I'm pretty sure it's at least 100 mil, if not 200 mil. So they froze a bunch, and then I think it might have been unfrozen recently. But that's why he's actually not broke, because he wasn't allowed to touch like $100 million until, let's say, 40 years old or whatever.
With 8 years until a reported $32 million payday from Reebok, Allen Iverson signs with its parent company. So it's 32 million.
32 million.
32 million. It's a good movie. It's a good movie.
I still haven't seen Air.
You watched it? Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Chris Tucker did a good job in my
opinion. He was really good.
Chris Tucker's Air?
Yeah, he was really good.
That's sick.
I didn't see the movie yet.
It's a heavy movie.
It's good. I haven't seen it yet.
It's so good. Like Ben did such a good job because
he's from Boston. I know
he's from Boston and he does the work, man. And it was just like really well done. Like he was the guy, and then Matt Damon was the guy. It was incredible, man. It was so good.
One thing that shocked you, and I'm going to tell you what mine was after. I want to hear your opinion. What was the one thing that, taking away from that movie, that either surprised you the most or kind of shocked you more than any other fact that you found out? I'm just curious, because something blew my mind when I watched that.
That Michael Jordan was not in the movie, or?
No, it has nothing to do with like the actual actors or anyone. It was just like a historical fact that you might have not known before seeing it. Is there anything that you kind of learned that you didn't know?
Not that I remember offhand. Maybe some of the things
blew my mind, right? Just to save a little time here. I had no idea Michael Jordan's mom was involved in negotiations.
Yeah. I was gonna say something with the family. Like I didn't know that she was.
I figured his mom was just like the quiet mother to the father, and the mother staying home cooking and taking care.
I didn't know that she ran the family.
I had no idea.
She was apparently like a major part of all the. Yeah, she was apparently like a major part of all the negotiation.
Had no idea of that till I saw that movie. That blew me away.
Yo, quick update though. It's 92-83 Boston, 9:04 left.
See,
Wow.
that's what scares me. Like right now, I'm in, as we call it in New England, tight asshole mode. Because like this is where notorious since February. This has been going on since February. We don't close games. I wish we could. I don't know why we don't.
Even smash one?
But I'm nervous right now.
I can bet. Yeah.
Okay, quick question for you. Actually, give me your top 3 Celtics of all time.
So I'm just gonna say, obviously, Bill Russell's the GOAT. I wasn't alive in his era. Not many people will say Bill Russell, but I mean, the guy's got more rings than fingers, right? So besides, in my lifetime watching, only because my father raised me, is this guy right here, Larry.
Bird.
Larry the Legend. I was at the NBA Hall of Fame the day he retired. So I'll never forget that as a little kid. Paul Pierce, the truth. I was the biggest Pierce fan growing up. There's probably better players, but in that same era, because I was in my 20s, that era, Antoine Walker, and I'm a Kentucky fan. So the Walker wiggle, like Antoine Walker was so underrated. He could bang threes. He brought the energy. It's tough to say he's the top 3 Celtic of all time, but from what I've been able to watch, Antoine Walker, like that was my guy.
Antoine Walker was sick, but I think Bill Russell would roll over in his grave if he knew that you didn't put him in his top 3.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm just naming people that I've actually.
That's fair.
Bob Cousy. There's so many great legends.
That's fair.
The Celtic legacy is very long, right?
Growing up, Bird though. For sure, Bird. And I was young though. Like I didn't get to see. I'm not gonna lie. Like I saw maybe the last five years or so of his career. But my father, like Bird, was on every game. Like Larry Bird was the guy in our house. More than any New England sport, more than Red Sox back then. Like Bird was the family dude. But Paul Pierce, I mean, he's very close on my list. Like
that's fair.
The 50 of the NBA.
The Great White Hope gets the number 1.
Incredible, like.
I know when I'm playing 2K, every once in a while I end up with the Celtics legacy team, and Cousy and Havlicek in the backcourt is pretty deadly, man. I gotta say.
Right, and then you got guys like DJ John, DJ. There's so many old school guys that I didn't really get to see that much of, so it's tough for me to put them in my list, even though they're all time legends. We all know that, but like my eyeballs have seen a certain era. I got to go with Pierce and Larry, and I'm gonna throw Antoine in there because I'm biased. Kentucky Wildcats. I got engaged. Little side fact. I got engaged at a Kentucky basketball game. I didn't even live in Kentucky. I brought my wife to a Kentucky basketball game. I bought her a blue diamond because we're in Big Blue Nation. She got a blue diamond. So Antoine.
Just because. Wow. There you have it.
That's well done. That's well done.
The fifth thing that we're gonna say for this week that I heard, my dad sent me this quick little article that LeBron James in 2010. Along with some other Heat players, they tried to get Spoelstra fired, and Pat Riley kind of lined them up on the wall and told them, "You don't come to me and tell me who to fire. Your job is to play basketball." And I was texting my dad because I'm like, yo, at the pecking order, Andrew Dice Clay, he talked to me about pecking order in Hollywood and stuff like that. But it's like Pat Riley has more rings than LeBron and Wade at that point, and Bosh. This dude played with the Showtime Lakers real time. And I thought that was a cool little tidbit. But as much as I love you guys, that was the NBA segment because that went all over the place. All right, so Jamal, do you want to just give us a quick segment, MMA? Just hit us with it. There you go, MMA.
So we have a special guest today to help us out with the MMA boxing highlights. You've probably seen his familiar face. I'm going to send it over to Franklin with some of the updates.
Below the Rim Podcast. It's Franklin here with the MMA update. I know you guys haven't seen me in a while. I've been busy training for a fight. I'm training for a Muay Thai competition that's going on in Iowa next month. So hopefully I'll be back more regularly after my competition ends. But for this week's MMA update, last night on UFC, we had Joaquin Buckley, and he just destroyed his competition. He got a TKO. We also had Mackenzie Dern defeat Angela Hill in the main event. It was a fight where they were throwing until the end of the fight. fight. And also last night in boxing, I don't know if you guys saw the fight. We had Devin Haney versus Lomachenko. A lot of people are saying that Lomachenko got robbed. I scored the fight 7-5 for Devin Haney, so I agree with the judges and their decision. I thought it was a great match. Devin Haney was going mostly to the body. He was countering, and I think he won more rounds. But you guys watch the fight for yourselves and see what you get. We got an exciting time coming up in UFC. We got 14 weeks of fights in a row. 14 weeks of fights in a row. So from the first weekend of June 3rd, all the way to the end of August, we got UFC every weekend. So hopefully we get some good fights. And that's Franklin with your MMA update.
All right, thank you, Franklin. And I also wanted to add, Lomachenko won the fight, in my opinion.
Did Loma get robbed? Well, look, I was right there, front row center, and I was watching the fight carefully. I literally had Lomachenko, and I love Haney. He's one of the master boxers in the sport today. I had Lomachenko 8-4. 8-4. Literally 8-4. Wow, that big of a...
Even one of the next prospects, Shakur, was in the ring after the fight, and he even mentioned to Devin, like, you're the champion right now, but we'll see what happens. I don't know. Watching the fight, I thought Lomachenko was controlling the fight most of it, and he landed. I think he attempted over 300 punches, almost like 100 more than Devin. So I don't know what it is. I don't know what's going on in the boxing world. And then I also want to bring to everyone's attention.
It's chaos. It's chaos.
100% chaos. So if you're familiar with John Jones, if you're familiar with, what's his name? Tyson Fury, the heavyweight champion, boxing champion of the world. So I don't know who brought the challenge first, but John Jones and Tyson Fury might actually fight in a UFC fight. Dana White,
fuck up John Jones.
Dana White said, "Hey, if Tyson's down for the fight, reach out to Dana. We can get this thing popping, and that would actually be an interesting fight." Now,
in an MMA or a boxing fight?
MMA.
Oh yeah. Okay.
John Jones tweeted. He said, "Even if he said you're the king
maybe
of
John Jones
cage,
win,
but he said if you come to my cage, what would the results be?" So I'm gonna ask the panel: if John Jones was to do a boxing match, what's your take? And if Fury was to do an MMA with John Jones, what's your take?
What do you guys think?
I think that's like trying to fight a shark in the ocean, man. That's you jump into their environment, they're gonna eat you alive. There's no way an MMA guy can hold up their own against a pro boxer. No way that Tyson Fury can get in a cage with John Jones. John Jones is the scariest man on the face of the earth right now.
It's like a beast, bro.
Some clips of Fury training MMA. So
I can't see Fury in an MMA ring, especially with Bones Jones. Like, no way.
And plus his height, he's like 6'11".
Jones in a UFC fight is murdering Fury. And Fury's a beast boxer, don't get me wrong, but not in the MMA ring. No way.
No. There's a reason why Floyd Mayweather only agreed for it to be boxing when he fought McGregor, right? If it was an MMA fight, even Floyd Mayweather being maybe top 3 of all time boxing, if MMA, he knew better than that. That's why he's so smart.
And as for that, that's pretty much for the updates.
I got a good out there. If he needs a sparring partner for his fight, if he's looking for someone just to spar with, I'm pretty sure Jazz might have an opening this week. if there's actually a night she's not performing, you know what I mean?
Okay, I got a good fight question for you guys then. Okay, you got a bear, a wolf, a tiger, and a chimpanzee. You got to fight all 4 of them, each one at a time. What is the order that you fight them in? Who do you think you survive with first? Ryan, go.
You said it, bear, tiger, chimpanzee. What was the 4th?
Bear, tiger, chimpanzee, and
a wolf.
A wolf.
I'll take the wolf first. Give me the wolf first.
The wolf
first? I get the wolf down first. I think I can maybe take the chimpanzee. By that point, I'm tapping out. I'm tapping you in at that point.
I was going to say I'm going against the chimp first, and the adrenaline from that, if I can't overcome the wolf, I'm done.
Looking back on my high school dating history, I'm pretty sure I was with at least a couple bears. There might have been a wolf in sheep's clothing mixed in there a few times. I have not messed with a chimpanzee though, so I'd probably go for that one first, just for the experience. But yeah, the bear would none of us have a chance against, man. So I think
what was the? Did Avery? What was the question? What was the? Because my lights got all finicky. What was the question?
Wolf, tiger, bear, and what was the chimpanzee? Which ones could you think you'd survive with first? Like, who you got the best chances with?
Oh my god! All right, well, chimpanzee. So the one I get mauled.
No, who you think you got the best chances with?
Who would you start fighting first?
Yeah, who you think you could win against, basically.
No pressure.
Oh my god, the wolf! I can definitely take the wolf first, but he'll take my arm off, obviously.
Get him in a good headlock.
The bear will take my insides out. I mean, this is and then the chimpanzee, same thing. Like it'll start stomping on me. And then what was the other one?
The tiger.
The tiger. Maybe the tiger might fall in love. Might see a friend and see a friendship, and you know what I mean. It might be, but yeah, that's.
The tiger might be on some sleeping pills or something.
I personally think with any type of cat, even a fucking house cat, or any type of monkey, even the monkey off Friends, that little tiny little capuchin monkey or whatever the fuck those things are called, you have no chance with a cat or a tiger. That's what a cat or a monkey.
That monkey will rip. Those monkeys will rip your eyes out so quick.
Yeah.
You guys are underestimating the monkeys earlier.
Yeah. I got a quick question about the. I got a quick question about the Cuyahoga River. The Cuyahoga River. Am I saying that properly? Cuyahoga River. Okay, so we're gonna go into the NFL update next. NFL update. NFL update. NFL update. But yeah, you said that. Thank you. This is the NFL update. You got to give NFL its time. But why, if the Cleveland Browns were to win, and Avery, I'll come back to you because I know you had something to say. Why, if they win, they would set that on fire? Why was it set on fire in the first place?
It wasn't intentionally set on fire in the first place. And I think this was back in 1969, if I'm not mistaken. Lake Erie is a very, very dirty lake. Now it might be cleaner up north in the
Lake Ontario.
We got Lake Superior over here, so we're good.
Yeah, it's the dirtiest of the lakes. I remember swimming in Lake Erie. My mom would say, "Don't go underwater, higher chance to get an ear infection." So,
wow.
In '69, something along the lines of all the steel plants that were on Lake Erie that led into the Cuyahoga, something caught the river on fire. That's how much oil and just gunk. So there was literally the Cuyahoga River set on fire. So I think if the Browns were to win, they're going to set it back on fire.
Okay, there we go.
Chaos.
That makes sense.
I wouldn't say we're going to go as far as needing to grease the light poles and stuff in Philly, but it's going to be a celebration, and I'd be fearful if I were that river.
I hear that.
Interesting. Jamal, real quick, we're going to go back to the NFL update, but mole people, what is mole people? Can you just give us a quick update on mole people, and is that real?
I've seen a couple videos on it, and
I threw you off guard with that.
But hey, it tied into the same video I sent you, where the neighbors, they found like a little crack under their sidewalk,
like a ditch into the ground. Yeah.
So they called the construction company or the city to like fill it in, right? So they lift up the sidewalk and then they tried to like crush it down just to see how big the hole was. There was a whole village with 3 tunnels and
like a sinkhole. Wow. But it led into it. Wow. Interesting. We'll come back to that. That's a whole thing. We'll come back to that. Okay, cool. Sorry. Yeah. ADHD is it's like a real thing. So, we got to just kind of, so Ryan, coming back to you, they put out like pictures of Bryce Young and Richardson. What's his name again? Sorry, my bad.
Anthony Richardson.
Thank you. Yeah. AR-15. Can you just give us something, man? Damn it.
He looked small out there. I know Kyler looks small.
He is kind of small. He looked
small. And Billy, I know you're a football guy. I've been saying he just doesn't have the body to last in this league. What are your thoughts?
I just want to show you who the MVP of the NFL is this year.
Oh, great! Hey, wow!
You want a little Brian Cox throwback?
Wow!
Jalen Waddle, the Penguin.
So it's safe to say that you're going for the Dolphins. Is that a safe bet? Wow!
I will gladly trade the Celtics and Bruins for a Dolphins championship because the Florida Panthers are going. the Heat got a good chance. So they come in threes. I am Miami Dolphin. I will trade in. I'll take this right off right now. If you give me a Miami Dolphins Super Bowl, are you crazy? I'm taking that 10 out of 10 times.
What happened with you guys' point? Your quarterback with that injury that happened with what's his name? Chua. What's his name? Yeah,
Dan
what?
Marino. This is
Dan
Dan Marino, right?
This man's got no quit.
Dan Marino should definitely buy this car. Well, not this one. I'm gonna
The
fuck this one up.
laces were out.
You can never question Tua's toughness. I'll give him that because the last I saw him when he was basically knocked into oblivion and didn't even want to come out of the game. Obvious concussion. Most of these guys
They give up. They give up.
Anything involving the head, they want out, right?
Like even Ezekiel Elliott, man, he's not. He's out. He's out of the league. Like because he's like
Ezekiel.
Yeah, like they make that money, and then once they make that money, they're like, well, I don't want to get hit anymore. Like I'm good to go.
When Tua
like
got injured, I had to call out of work the next day because I felt mentally drained. I couldn't imagine.
Whoa, that's crazy.
And you got paid for that.
There you go. But yeah, Bryce Young is young. Or so not young.
I have a random thing that we can do.
Small, like he's skinny.
It fills in with the football, so it's like a random thing. It's just for some fun. All right. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put the box on you.
Yeah.
And then you are going to have to introduce your football name. So you're gonna make up a name.
Wow.
And then you're gonna introduce yourself and what team you play for. So it has to be quick.
NFL update. NFL update. NFL update.
Football name Riptide. I'm a DN coming off the end like my boy Myles Garrett. Better be fearful, better be scared. Any left tackle out there, get out of the way.
Okay, my name is going to be Mercury Johnson.
Oh.
I'm going to stick to the I'm going to play for the LA Rams. I like the LA Rams there. I'm going to be able to fly up and down the sidelines with no mercy on anybody. You're not going to be able to stop me. And my 40 time is going to be like 2 seconds flat. So I'm going to be a problem. You can't teach speed, and speed kills. We all know that.
Prime time Paquin. I am the Deion Sanders of white men. I'm going to be part of that. When I'm a 21, I'm taking the ball from the house. I'm putting the hand. I'm dancing into the end zone. Primetime P, Miami Dolphins, Super Bowl 17-0. We're going to be 21-0 with the new schedule. Right. Plus the playoffs, never losing another game.
All right. Okay.
I'm Albert Townsend Jr. the third, wide receiver, 500,000 yards first season. I just want a contract where I can just be able to have money every day. I'm the best in the league, and I just want to be able to play with the best. That's all. Thank you. Turn off the camera.
Ron Rimmer. Best quarterback in the league, reincarnation of Dan Marino. The laces will be in this time.
Yeah.
Julius Esquire Augustin
go nuts.
Jr. Tight end,
Mississippi.
for the Miami Dolphins.
There we go. That's beautiful.
Yo,
That's
quick
beautiful.
update.
Real quick,
Yeah.
Jordan. I feel like that's like a movie role. You've been rehearsing that for like 3 weeks.
There we go.
Yeah.
Update, Avery.
1 minute left in the game. 112 Boston, 96 Miami.
They did not get swept. They did not get swept.
They
We're
took
going
out.
back to Boston.
Because Boston, y'all got fight in you, man.
They took out their starter, so the
I want
game
to
is
see
over.
Kevin Millar sitting front row.
Hey.
Right there. I need that sign, baby. Kevin Millar, baby.
Quick question: any more NFL stuff? Any more things you got to say about NFL before we move on to the NHL update?
I got nothing.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Are you tired of paying inflated prices for your car insurance?
Yeah.
Sponsored by Primo Pizza.
Real quick, just a side thing because I'm just feeling it right now. Favorite number, Ryan Poyle. What's your favorite number?
23.
23.
LeBron James, Cleveland boy.
Wow. Okay. Jamal Johnson Hines. Favorite number.
11.
Wow. I thought you were gonna say 7. Okay. Billy Paquin. Favorite number.
21. Prime time.
Interesting.
21.
Andrew Hinkson. Favorite number?
Well, when I play poker, I seem to hit the most sets when I play this pair, and I've heard it represents infinity. It's good luck, so I'm gonna go with the number 8, man. R.I.P.
Wow. Avery Adamo.
It's a damo. And
I know.
And
I know. Avery
and
Adamo.
favorite number, I don't know how none of you guys picked it, but it also stands for infinity, 69. That's what
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And for me, I'm gonna say number 5. That's my favorite number. Okay, so we want to go into an NHL update, Drew. Is there anything you gotta?
I could definitely go into NHL update, man. The question is, do you actually want to hear what my NHL update is, man? Like right now, I'm being shown that the 82 game regular season that I basically just invested most of the year to, did not miss one single Leaf game, followed along every step of the way. I'm realizing how meaningless that 82 game regular season is at this point. You might remember that when this regular season ended, the Florida Panthers were the last team in the NHL to qualify for the playoffs. They qualified for the playoffs on the last day of the season. And to do that, they needed the Pittsburgh Penguins to lose at home to one of the worst teams in the league. So Florida barely got in this dance. And right now they are one win away from going to the Stanley Cup final. They eliminated the top team in the league, Boston. They eliminated the third best team in the league, Toronto. Then they've gone on and started beating the shit out of the Carolina Hurricanes right now. Last week, I predicted Carolina to win that series. I also picked Dallas in the West to win their series with their experience, and Vegas is beating the shit out of them. So, I'm starting to wonder what I really know about this, but the update is the Vegas Knights and the Florida Panthers are looking like they're going to meet for the Stanley Cup. All bets are off at this point because neither one of those teams is supposed to be here, man. So it's probably going to go to 7 games. It'll be super exciting, and I'm going to just say congratulations to whoever wins. They definitely deserve it.
Wow.
I'm going to back you up on that.
Their general manager.
As a Bruins fan, it's nothing. We won 65 games. We set the all-time record to lose to the first round. Disgusting.
I'm
It's
telling
a
you.
disgusting display of regular season for nothing.
Nothing.
Cool.
Right to books, man.
Cool. NHL. There we go. There we have it. There we have it.
Done.
Done. There we go. Avery segment. Go ahead.
The top three list. This is exciting. Okay, so I did top 3 video games of all time. This list. At my number 3, I got San Andreas.
Oh, you fucker.
GTA San Andreas.
Absolutely.
If you weren't into San Andreas, Vice City was sick as fuck, but I figured San Andreas was a safer bet because you could do push-ups, you could get like haircuts, you could ride a bicycle, you could there's so much more. I think you could bang hookers in San Andreas. There's so much more you could do, man. And then my number 2, I got fucking Zelda or Ocarina of Time
For Nintendo 64?
The Nintendo 64. I think that game, when I first played it, I remember me and my brother being like, man, this is life-changing. You see that tree over there? Like, you could run to that tree over there. Or like, that wall way over there. Yo, man, you can run to the wall? That's
And it's not just like you
like,
hit it.
yeah, man, you could do so much in Zelda. It was crazy.
That's a classic game. Zelda
Yeah, man. The first time you could ride anything, you could ride a horse and then jump off the horse. It was nuts.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, okay, number 1, if people argue this, I think it's ridiculous, but Mario Kart for the 64.
Absolutely.
The number 1 game
Fair
of all time.
That's in my top 100.
The number 1 game of all time. There's definitely other things I could have said. Like I could have said
No,
one of the Mario Kart.
You don't get to no.
There's too many NBAs to pick one of the NBAs. So I couldn't pick one of the NBAs.
Okay.
What do you guys got though?
Drew, I'm coming to you because I see you stewing and getting ready, and you usually have the whole time to think of the thing and come with the in living color and some.
Not this time.
This time, no, we're coming to you right now. Coming to you
You
live.
know what? My list for the top video games, it's kind of skewed a bit because I'm back from the time when we used to put quarters in the machines, right? So when I'm paying a quarter to play a game, I want it to be able to last as long as possible to not have to spend another quarter. So number 1 to me would have been Super Mario Brothers, man. I could sit on Super Mario Brothers for hours and shit on 1 quarter. and get far as fuck before I have to play some more. My number 2 will probably be something like the video game called Super Sprint. It had 3 steering wheels and 3 cars. You could get the wrenches and add shit to your car, some turbo, some. It was awesome, man. Super Sprint was dope. And my number 3, I'm just gonna go with like NHL '94 for Sega Genesis.
Oh man, great
University, man. That got me University.
I actually played that. That one was good.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Ryan looks like he has some ideas there.
I know, Ryan. Over to you, brother.
Man, once Avery said the N64, that's when the wheels started spinning over here. Right? I mean, I'm a big fan of Mario Party. Mario Kart, but Mario Party. I mean, once we got to college and somebody busted out the N64, we got a way to turn that into a drinking game.
Wow. I got it right beside me.
What's the best drinking game that you ever played, Ryan?
I mean, I think right now I'm a big fan of Beer Die.
Beer Die.
Back in college,
What's Beer Die?
Can go wrong. Beer Die. It's 2 cups on each team has 2 cups, edge of the table. You have to throw a die up and try and land it in the cup. If they land it in the cup, they have to chug their whole beer, and you get 3 points. You play up to a certain amount. If it hits the table and you don't catch it, then you get 1 point.
What's a die? Like, what's a die? What's
the dice?
Oh, like
dice.
a die. Oh, a die. Oh, a die. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. My bad.
I didn't know. I was just gonna wait until he finished.
I figured he meant dice.
I did. Yeah.
Why is he throwing up food coloring?
Die. I was like, this is like a new thing going on.
You drink it and then you die?
What? Okay, I got you.
Hey, what's your number 2?
Number 2 is going to have to be, I think, the classic FIFA. Any of the FIFA games. Just
FIFA
99. And settled on that. And then number 3, I love Skate 3. It's just, I don't want to take San Andreas. You already said that, so I'm going with Skate 3.
Skate was good.
Get creative.
Or Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yeah.
Jamal, Billy, I'm coming to you. Because I know you're coming with the energy, but Jamal, I'm coming to you real quick. I'm coming to you real quick.
Okay, I actually took my time and I wrote some stuff down while you guys were talking. All right, let's keep that flickering. The following. Okay, so since everyone said Mario Brothers, let's just say shout out to the franchise Mario Party, like Super Mario's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all of that.
Right.
I'm not gonna put that in my top 3. Top 3, GoldenEye.
Yes.
Wow.
Thank you.
GoldenEye.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a good one. That is a great one. Wow.
Shout out Odd Job.
And then number 2, Jimmy Johnson football.
Wow.
That's so funny.
Classic.
Jimmy Johnson.
About them goddamn Cowboys.
And then the last one, Ninja Gaiden.
Nice.
Wow.
I love that one.
God, you're throwing back.
Jimmy Johnson.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Jimmy Johnson.
Do you have them signed? It's a circle.
No, it's literally they were for my my brother's wedding. He got us all shoes for us to stand in his wedding.
That's
sick.
Billy.
Okay, wait, what did you say your first one was?
Ninja Gaiden.
Oh, Ninja. That's lit. That's a good one.
Ninja
I don't
Gaiden.
remember that one.
For the Sega.
Yeah.
I just want to say, nobody has said Madden in any of them.
No, right?
There's too many to pick out of the sports games. It's like you got to pick.
I lost a lot of money playing that game, man. I lost a lot of money.
I went with the one I win at the most.
I got an old school Paperboy.
Oh, that was a great one.
That's a good one.
I spent some quarters on that.
That's a good
Paperboy. Okay. Wow. Paperboy. Okay.
You had the bike steering wheel. You know, yeah, that was dope.
And how about this one? I got another one. Duck Hunt with the gun, the original.
Oh,
yeah, that one was sick.
And you had the gun. Yes.
That's
a good one. Yes. Classic.
Duck Hunt was sick with the orange rifle.
Oh, I used to go right to the screen.
And now what's your number one? What's your number one?
I mean, I'm putting Madden number one.
Okay.
Like I haven't played games in years. I'm saying like Sega Genesis era, maybe one of those.
Yeah. Same here.
Earlier Madden.
That's a good list. All right, so here we go. Mine is this. Here we go. I just did this. I'm gonna say number 3 is Sonic the Hedgehog for Sega Genesis.
Great game.
Sega Genesis.
That bad boy.
Sega. It's for that. Y'all, you guys are gonna go crazy for this one. Number 2, Mortal Kombat.
Wow.
I honestly thought Drew was gonna go there when he was
Right,
arcade
you know?
games. I
Get
thought he was
over
gonna
here,
Mortal Kombat.
right?
That,
Look at my
the wheels were turning on that one in my brain.
Yeah,
Right,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat's literally one of my favorite games of all time.
That's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then number one, Jamal, you're gonna know this one. Super Punch Out. You guys made it. This is for Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
JBJ. Yay!
It was super ghetto, but it was good.
It was a good game.
Yeah.
That's my top
No one
three. Good
said, okay,
question.
can we have like a what's the word for NBA Jam? Like
Yes.
Oh, that's a good game too.
I
NBA
love that
Jam.
game,
Dudes,
He's on fire.
He's on fire.
Oh, that was dope.
Good game.
NCAA
that
football.
was a good one.
Which one, Ryan? NCAA?
NCAA football. They're going to make a comeback, I think, next summer. That's the game
But
that's
the
been
only
going
thing
for like
with
10
that,
years now.
the only thing with that is that the players had no names. It was like, how do you get into that? You know?
Finally
That's
bringing
good.
it back.
Good
NBA
question.
Jam was kind of funny too. It was like all the teams had like one really good guy, and then one guy you're like, "Fuck, I don't want this guy."
Yeah.
You have to like make it work with him. You know what I mean? It was kind of trippy.
All
I'm
right,
pretty
so
sure it's only like 2 players on a team.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
It was made for the arcade format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
All
We
right,
actually
so
just got a question emailed.
Beautiful.
It's relating to the animals. Okay, so I'm gonna say 4 animals: a lion, a cheetah, a fox, and a bear. Which animal do you gravitate towards? And I'll tell you what the meaning is. Drew.
Oh man, I think going back to my track days, I gotta pick the cheetah for sure.
All right, Ryan.
I am going with a rhino.
Named after a rhino. I get it now.
That was an option.
Oh, that was an option. Oh shit.
Yeah, it was.
You cut out for a second. What were the options again?
Bear, cheetah, lion, and fox.
I'm going with bear.
Okay, we're coming back to that.
I
Jordan.
guessed rhino. My bad. I didn't.
me, lion.
Lion. Okay, Billy.
I'm gonna go with cheetah just because Tyreek Hill.
All right, Avery.
I'm gonna be different and go fox.
Okay, so interesting enough. This is
Who do you pick? Hold on. Don't you?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pick the fox.
Copy my style.
So CIA has this like brain test, right? And how they categorize people are by these 4 animals. Each animal represents a characteristic. If you selected the lion, that means you're organized. If you selected the bear, it means you know how to build relationships. If you're the cheetah, you're a leader. And if you're the fox, you come up with ideas. So they're just saying in any corporation, it's always good to have 4 of those characteristics to make an elite.
Interesting.
Right?
Wow.
Crazy.
I just figured the fox was probably like the most handsome, you know.
And Jamal, in Egypt, our guide, his name was Hani. That was his name. Hani. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot his name. Shukran. Yes. Oh, real quick. Sorry. Okay, I got a couple questions for the panel. What movie do you wish you could watch again for the first time?
Wow. All right.
Billy, go first. You got it. There we go.
I'm gonna try to keep it quick because it's one of my all-time favorite movies. No one ever really talks about. Money Talks. Chris Tucker.
Oh, good movie.
That's an undercover classic.
97.
Love that movie. Love that.
I'll go, man. I was just having this discussion with a friend of mine the other day, and it's like sometimes movies affect you determining on the age you are, right? Like you can watch a movie at 10 years old and it might be the best thing you've ever seen in your life, but when you watch it at 30, it'll be a piece of shit. But, I talk about movies that kind of changed my life because someone asked me who my favorite actor of all time was, and my answer was the guy that had iconic roles that changed my life, more or less. And when I saw 2 movies, they just kind of changed my childhood. One was Empire Strikes Back, and the other one was Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. So I wish I could watch Raiders of the Lost Ark again for the first time because I lost myself in that movie, man. Like I felt like I was on the adventure with Indiana, and I wish I could watch it again at that age too. It was great.
Yeah.
Ryan Poyle.
I think I am going to go with. I mean, one that's. You just hit the nail on the head right there, Drew. I think I was going to say Step Brothers, but I'm like, man, if I haven't seen that in 10 years, I probably, if I were to go back, I'm not sure if I'd like it. But for now, I'm going to stick with Step Brothers.
Yeah. My girl, that's her favorite movie, man.
Wow.
Funniest. She quotes it all the time. Great.
Avery Adamo.
Adamo.
I know.
And I'll go with Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Oh,
Fucking
very funny.
probably one of the greatest lines of all time. Is, do you know the dolphin? Does it call you at home? Does it go?
That's it. Try and find a girl who loves that movie. Some movies only men like. I have yet to find a girl that loves that movie.
Me and my lady were dying in that movie. That was
Everyone
hilarious.
loves that movie.
God forbid. You know what I mean? Hilarious. Jamal?
I think it's a toss up because I thought about that, and then Drew said the whole Indiana Jones thing. I'm like, but I'm gonna say me, myself, and Irene.
I need total unanimity.
The adopted son.
That movie's very funny.
Yeah,
very funny. Very funny. Get off the train. Get off. Wow.
Him having those three sons, the black kids that he had.
Yeah.
The fun.
That storyline, man.
Well, fuck it. I'm gonna.
And he doesn't think they're all not his.
Yeah.
And that movie is about being a Rhode Island State Trooper. So I love it. It's about
He's just 1,000% sure they're his kids.
So funny. I love it.
With the motherfucking neutron.
Jim Carrey picks Jim Carrey for president. Oh my.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, I got two. Fuck it. I'm breaking. I know the rules and I'm breaking them. Respectfully. Goodfellas is my first one. Goodfellas is my first one. And then Wizard of Oz, man. I'm sorry. Every time it's my movie, man. That's my movie, man. It's my movie, man. Final thoughts, man. Final thoughts. Who wants to go first? Final thoughts.
I'll start it off real quick.
Nice.
Joey Mazzulla, coach of the Celtics. Town Johnson, his dad coached me 23 years ago. They're talking about we should fire Joey. No. I know the Mazzulla family. They were born and bred basketball. I try to get Joey's cousin. She's the best basketball player from my town, went to Providence College. Joey, we trust you. Celtics, I trust you. Celtics in 7. Don't call us dead yet. Kevin Millar, you're bringing the good luck, baby. Let's go. Thank you, fellas, for having me.
60 seconds. Billy Paquin, y'all. He's as real as it comes, man. Rhode Island's first and only. We love you, man. Thank you for hopping on the pod. Drew Hinkson, 60 seconds, my man.
All right. There was a little bit of a change going on in Leafland this week. You guys probably didn't know because you don't really follow this team like I do. You have a life. But basically, the Leafs fired their general manager. His name is Kyle Dubas. So a day or two after the season ended with that miserable Game 5 loss to Florida, the Leafs went to Kyle Dubas and offered him an extension. And he told them something to the effect of his family and his kids are starting to be stressed out with his job and how much time he's dedicating to the Leafs. So a day or so after that, he tried to come back and say, now my family is okay, and this is the raise that I want. He tried to ask for more money. So my boy Kyle Shanahan, we call him Uncle. He basically just told Dubas to pack his bags and get the hell out of Toronto. We are no longer requiring your services. So. Whoa. Yeah. My basic reasoning behind this, by bringing this up, is if you have what you are considering a job and it's making you happy, I would strongly suggest you do not fuck that up looking for an extra $1 or $2, man. Do not sacrifice your happiness for a little bit more money.
Wow.
Grass is not always greener.
Way to bring it back.
Yeah.
Very good point.
And you can always buy turf grass.
Avery Adamo, 60 seconds.
Final thoughts are clearly my predictions on the NBA mean absolutely nothing.
I just want to say your takes on Jalen Brunson being like he's the savior. Loved it because I feel the same way. RJ Barrett trying to do the thing. Loved it. Great takes. I feel the same way. Go ahead.
Yeah, like realistically, those guys were never going to be the great hope. They're not Barrett. They're not the great white hope. I think that realistically, me predicting on anything is pointless, but I think that Denver's probably going to win it, regardless if Boston pulls out. Miami's probably going to win it. I'm sorry, Bill, but Miami's probably winning it. They're up 3-1 in the series. I don't know. No one's come back from a 3-0 deficit in the history of the NBA. So if Boston does it after the fuckery that they pulled this last 3 games, I'll be shook. So,
right? That's awesome, right?
But Joe Mazzulla's probably also getting fired. I'm sorry again. It's probably going down. I can see Brad Stevens just all of a sudden firing him and then being like pulling Pat Riley and being like, you know what, fuck it, I'm the coach.
You want me to go next?
You got it.
I'll go next. All right. I like a movie. It's called They Live. It's a phenomenal film. Roddy Piper, my brother Jamal told me about it. It's about, the
movie's trippy as fuck.
It's a trippy movie, but essentially like Roddy Piper can see these aliens with these glasses and like, the conglomerates and the corporate, all these things and all these. So I don't know. I was just thinking about that movie and I don't know, man. I'm just here and I'm just glad that we get to do this podcast and create our own network, our own, and we get to put out our own like good energy and stuff like that. And that's one of my favorite movies too, as well. Like it was Wizard of Oz, it was Goodfellas, and They Live. That's also one of my, so I'm taking it back. I use my final thoughts to say that. You feel me, shawty? And that's it. I'm giving it over to Jamal or Ryan Poyle, whoever wants it next. Final thoughts.
Pass the ball.
Not bad. That's that shit.
The commercial. Ryan Poyle.
Yeah. So final thoughts. I've been thinking a lot. Got quite a few final thoughts. First one is we were talking earlier about Allen Iverson's manager putting that money away from him. There's a MLB player that used to play for the Mets named Bobby Bonilla. July 1st, every single year he was cutting, I think, 99 from the Mets, and his manager worked out a deal where he would not take any money until 2011, and from 2011 till 2035, he gets paid $1 million by the Mets every July 1st. That's $24 million just for waiting 11 years. It's
Bobby Bonilla Day.
Bobby Bonilla Day, July 1st. And I guess with the amount of time remaining, Brooks Koepka won the PGA Championship this past week. Jordan, are we going to see him August 11th through the 13th at Trump Bedminster?
There we go.
In New Jersey.
There we go.
We should go. Let me know if you're in.
There we go.
Let me know if you're in.
Wow. I'm in. There we go. All right. Wow. Sorry. Yo, you guys get me so hyped, man. There's probably going to be a bunch of like memes that when I'm like famous, it's like me just like, laughing because you guys are making me laugh. Jamal, bless up, sir. What do you got?
How much should a person spend on the first date? And I feel personally I'm old school, so I think the man should pay. But I also feel you should ask a girl a series of questions before the date, and every answer she gets correct, that's $5 going towards the bill. And then the accumulated amount is how much you spend on. Okay, anyways.
That's good.
My final thoughts. You can be the master of your fate and you could be the captain of your soul. But you have to realize life is coming from you and not at you.
Wow.
And that takes time. All right.
Amen to that. Wow.
I like that.
Wonderful.
I like
Yo, so that's it, man. That's all she wrote. Can someone else take us out? I'm done. I'm just gonna mute me. Mute me. Someone else take us out. I'm done. All right, fuck it. Oh wait, there we go.
I thought you were talking about a Beat Street Wave.
Below the Rim Podcast. Peace.
Guys,
I just want to say Ryan's looking handsome tonight, man. Just every night,
dapper.
Every night. All right, so fuck it. We're gonna add a new segment. Who's best dressed for the night?
Oh shit.
Well, we should probably give it to our
Jordan.
our new
I got
guest.
it. Flush it. I won. Let's go. I'm Jordan.
I'm Jamal.
Ryan Poyle.
Avery Adamo.
Andrew Hinkson.
Billy Pig and Billy P in the Cayman Islands. Let's go, brothers.
There's so much goddamn snakes on this motherfucking
Don't kill me.